Okay, so the title of this video is "Why is the world going mad?" And I want to cover a number of things here. Again, it's just a perspective. My name is Karis Alexander. I'm with Deep Tooth Media. So the world is going mad by design. And again, your reality is spoon-fed to you by the power control force. And so let's look at a few things here. What we are immersed in, this system, is a consciousness control system or a consciousness prison system. And now I'm going to tell you what consciousness is if you don't know what consciousness is. You are a conscious being, whether you are conscious of that or not. And you are able to experience yourself as a conscious being, although a very small portion of it if you are just associated with the body and believing that the body, that your experience through the body system is all that you are experiencing through the five sense personality that is you. Now, this consciousness control system, or this consciousness prison system, is designed by the power control force. Now, the power control force is the word that I use to describe that which the entity which is built this system, running this system, and is creating your reality, and is using you and me to keep the system going. Now, the power control force knows the rules of this system, and they also know that there are natural laws that govern the universe that we are living within. Now, the power control force has the advantage of the rules of this game, because it is a game. It's a game called life. Actually, it's like a soap opera. It's like reality TV gone worldwide, with lots of drama playing out on the physical world stage. And again, all by design, by the power control force. They've designed the matrix, and they use you as pawns, and me as pawns, as puppets, to facilitate their agenda. Why? Because they don't have the same quality, let's say, consciousness that you and I are predisposed to. And we, as the consciousness that we are, just using the physical vehicle that we think that this is all that we are doing here is, but really the consciousness that is you is evolving. The power control force knows this. They also know that the consciousness that is you uses your physical vehicle as a tool to be here in this physical domain. And so the power control force, they know the rules of the system that they've designed, and they also understand natural laws. The nature of this system is such that as the consciousness that we are, from a higher perspective or higher realms, we know why we came here, what we are to do here, where we are going, all the four dominant questions that we keep asking over and over and over again. You have to ask yourself, why is it that we don't know who we are? Why is it that we don't know where we come from? Why we're here? What we are to do while we are here? It's because We are asking those questions over and over again because we are in a state of amnesia. And the nature of this game that we are immersed in is to wake up out of this game or dream and come to know the truth of who we are, stay within the game, and fulfill our mission that we came here to do. Power control force knows this. They know the rules of the game. We knew the rules of the game too before we came here, but we have forgotten the rules of the game. And this is what's causing the madness on the physical world stage. It's all by design. The power control force knows that the consciousness that is you, your true being, is evolving to allow itself to experience itself through the physical vehicle that is you, or the physical vehicle that you use as a tool. And so what they've done is they're simulating the evolution of human consciousness, or a consciousness that is you. They are simulating a de-evolutionary path for the consciousness that is you, that is simply forgotten who and what it is, and is only living through the mind and body construct. Now, the power control force suffers severe mental illness. So that should be a red flag to you right away. Those that run this world suffer severe mental illness. So if you think that that's not going to filter into your reality, think again. That power control force, those that presume to run this world, who know the rules of the system, who've designed this system, understand natural laws, they know that you don't know who and what you are, and so they can keep the dream or the game going. Until you wake up to the truth and knowing of who and what you are, the game will continue. So, if you think that we can change this physical world from the external reflective of what we see going on, think again. You are lying to yourself. And even if you think that that could happen, it would never happen in your lifetime. We are too ingrained in this reality for that to happen at this stage. I mean, it's so blatantly obvious. So even in your lifetime, if you are a light worker, or you are an activist, or you are a change agent, or you are a systems buster, like a ghostbuster. I'm a systems buster. I consider myself a systems buster, yes. Because I understand the system to a certain level and to a certain extent. I understand this physical world system. I share that perspective. But I also know who and what I am. And I know that this is a game that we're playing. And so I don't take it so seriously, and neither should you. All the drama that is ensuing on this physical world plane is simply that. It's a drama. It's bizarre. And when you really come to know the truth of who you are, and see this dream or this drama that's playing out on the physical world stage, you'll understand that the power control force is the adversary, and they are here to do their job. They are doing it very well. They are thwarting, they are suppressing the evolution of you as a human being. They're thwarting your evolution. That is their role. And so we don't need to be mad at them or pissed off. We need to be thankful that they are here. And I mean that sincerely, because they are playing their role and they're doing it very, very well. But we're taking this all too seriously. It's a game. And we've forgotten the rules. Humanity has forgotten the rules of the game. And so it's up to you to whether you decide to wake up to the truth of who and what you are, understand the system in which you are immersed in, and then know why you came here, and stick around so you can fulfill your mission. Because you know something? When you leave here, or if you're deciding to leave here earlier than planned, you're going to have a review anyway. And you're going to go back to your original state of consciousness. And you're going to say, oops, I forgot why I went down there, what I was there to do. Shoot, I didn't play the game the way I said I would go in there and play the game. I forgot that it was a game. I got enamored and immersed in the reality of that perspective. And I only went there in the first place because I've done my job so well on other realms. And I knew I was a master at what my capabilities were. And I wanted to go down to earth to just share some of my self-mastery there. And be immersed in the game and be immersed in physical reality and have the experiences of the five senses. Yes, because when you are just in your state as pure consciousness, resting there, you are resting in what I would consider to be a constant state of paradise. And when you are just resting in your constant state of paradise, fully connected to that which you are, source, energy, you are just humming. You are joyful. You are experiencing your paradise state. You're just simply resting there. There's nothing else to be doing. And so, yes, one can get bored in that state. Or just one could want to experience more of itself. And we can do that here. We can experience more of who we are in this physical realm. We can have a different experience than just resting in our state of paradise. Because that's who and what we are. We're just wisdom, divine wisdom, resting in a constant state of paradise in the non-physical stubble realms beyond. And so I really wanted to touch on this. Why is the world going mad? And this whole area of zombie apocalypse. Because when one holds the firm belief that you are nothing but your body you use, this is a sickness. This in itself is a sickness. And again, by design, the power control force wants you to believe that all you are is a body that you use. And so when this sickness is created, the spirit that is you, the mind just simply using the body, is just simply utter ignorance of the power that you wield as a conscious being to recuperate and regenerate the body. So if you only believe that you are nothing but the body that you use, and that is a sickness, then you are just meeting or initiating your own demise by design. I was always wondering why we're seeing this zombie apocalypse being proliferated on the physical world stage. It's by design, because if you still are identified with the body, you will eventually vacate that body. The spirit that is you, the consciousness that is you, it will just become too gross. The body will become too gross. The mind will become too sick for it to continue, and so will just the spirit that is you will just vacate that body. And that's happening for a lot of people. But then there will be a lot of people who will be walking amongst us who are gate. You know, those people who you see that are just sort of walking hunched over, lifeless, really not that conscious of what's going on in the world, don't really want to know, they really don't have much life in them. They really should probably be in some institution, but they are just, walking like a zombie, living their life. They're robotic. They're immersed in their belief systems. They don't know who they are. They don't have a clue of what's going on in the physical world. They are literally asleep. Their body is decaying. They're aging. The spirit cannot hold the whole body up with this type of sickness, this mental sickness. And so it will just simply vacate. It'll form some type of disease in the body. The body may have a heart attack or something like that, Some excuse will ensue on the body to the extent where it will become so sick and gross that it will die. So this is very real. And so what I want to leave you with is that if you are experiencing any pain, any suffering that's coming up, it's because your spirit, that consciousness that is you, is wanting to experience more of itself through the physical body. It's wanting to force more life into the body in order to sustain itself. And right now, more than ever, things are speeding up exponentially to the extent that there is new energy coming onto this planet supporting your evolution. And if your body is so gross in sickness, so gross in the mind, with negative thoughts and emotions, and then your body is toxic, then you will not be able to sustain yourself in physical form. The spirit will vacate. The spirit of you, the consciousness that is you, is wanting to have a deeper, grander experience here, but it can't do it. If your body is toxic of emotions, emotional toxins, and toxins in the mind. If you are engrossed in negativity, which is how the system keeps you in the low vibrational energies, so that you do not embrace your evolution, come to know the truth of who you are. That's the nature of this game, to keep you engrossed in the negativity. And that's why the world is going mad, and we are seeing the militarization or a police state in the United States, all by design, to keep humanity in the prison, the matrix, the prison matrix. The power control force is upping the ante. And they have to do that in order to keep the prison system intact that they've designed. They have to keep it in the lowest vibration possible. Because if the vibration, which it is, of the planet is increasing, it's supporting your awakening, your evolution as a conscious being. And so, as I mentioned many, many times, the power control force, those that presume to run this world, They are the adversaries. They're playing their role, and they're doing a very, very good job. But they have control of your mind. And so as a systems buster, one of the things that I've come to learn is that we have to, as a species, we have to disengage the mind so that the power control force cannot control us on that level. And we must move into the heart. And people were saying probably, well, Karis, how do you know that to be true? Because I know who and what I am. And I've transcended into the heart. And I no longer live through the mind construct of the physical world. And so I'm able to see the system for what it is to a certain extent. I'm growing in my knowledge of that incrementally, because when one wakes up to this system, it's not pretty. And so it's an initiation process that one goes through. So, but the only way through this mess, this madness, is to do that. It's an inside job. It's to do the inner work. It's an inside job. You must do the emotional body work, which I talk about all the time. You must clear the mind of any negativity so that you can release yourself from the enslavement of the system and the madness that's ensuing on this planet, and move into the creative being that you are, so that you can create a world in which you want to live in, not a world in which has been spoon-fed to you by the power control force. Again, they are just the adversary. They are doing their job. And they're doing a very good job. Don't be angry at them. Be thankful. Because they're doing their job really well and you're not. But the key is, by playing a victim in the system, you are not holding up your end of the bargain. You're not holding up your end of the game. You are allowing yourself to be defeated because you have forgotten. You are more powerful than the power control force. Those that presume to run this world, they know that. And that's why they live every day knowing that, with the fear of knowing that at some point you will wake up. You will experience your transcendence and no longer be attached to what is going on your external reflective, and that's all good. But if you're still in this physical world and you are awake to who and what you are, and you are living out your mission, you're still going to have to live amongst the zombies, those that are suffering severe mental illness, and so your safety is going to be threatened. You're still going to be living within a prison system. So there has to be more of us waking up so that we can change the trajectory of which this planet is heading. There are a number of people who are really into this OPPT movement. And I really caution people. I think the people that are spearheading that, have good intentions. But if they knew who and what they are, they would know that it's a part of the controlled opposition, OPPT. It's all by design, by the, power control force. By another initiative, as what I call under the controlled opposition. It's a psyops. It's a Venus flytrap of sorts. And it's really to distract you from the NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act. Who cares about OPPT? If you can't, it's good to know how the system, the legal system is fraudulent. And there are many things that you can learn and tools that you can gain from that. But don't get caught and enamored and immersed in that and become ornery about that, because it's another distraction. It's their system. You think you're going to be able to overthrow their system? They're masters of what they do. You are ignorant if you think that OPPT is going to have any significant bent or slant on this physical world system. You should be more focused on NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, which basically got very little airtime or media attention. Because who cares about OPPT and being able to defend yourself within the legal system if they are just going to whisk your family members or you off to a detention center without due process? Come on, people. That's just being ignorant. You have to know who and what you are as pure consciousness. Because when you do, you will know sovereignty and freedom at a whole nother level, and you will defend yourself at all cost. And you will make plans for yourself so that you are out of harm's way. You will live your life differently when you know who and what you are. OPPT movement is really for those who are still asleep, not knowing who they are, engaged in this system, believing that it's all real, and yet it's just a dream, and that the adversary, the power control force, is playing their part, and you're not. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. And let's keep an eye on this North Korea. Because this threat by North Korea, again, is part of the power control force. They are implementing that scenario or agenda is playing out now. Very timely. Same time of the year. March 9th was 2011 was the Fukushima disaster in Japan. Again, they love these patterns. They love their dates. So North Korea is threatening a nuclear war on the United States. It's all by design. Controlled opposition scenario playing out. But again, designed to keep you in a state of fear and paralysis. Everything on the physical world stage right now is designed to keep you in a state of fear and paralysis so that you do not evolve, you do not wake up to the truth of who you are. And Hugo Chavez died a couple days ago. And many people are insinuating that he was inoculated with cancer a few years ago. And he probably was. But it's interesting how attention is now shifting to the South. And let's keep an eye on that as well, because that, I believe, is what is considered on the physical world stage the pole shift. You know, the shift from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere. We have a lot of activity or attention presumably being directed towards the southern hemisphere, and Hugo Chavez's death is, again, by design, all part of the packaged plan of the power control force. We may even see the Pope come from the South, or South American Pope, the next Pope. Let's see what happens there. And we have the Summer Olympics in Brazil in 2016. And then I believe that the next president that will be ushered into the United States will be, is his name Rubio? He's a Spanish guy. He's showed up a couple times at Obama's inauguration, or not inauguration, his re-election. He's showing up a few times, but I believe he's the next candidate for the United States. He's a Republican. He's Spanish descent. And I think that these are all symbolic representations on the physical world stage of the pole shift that's happening. And I believe that the pole shift is just a representation of our sun evolving to a higher level. The sun is a representative or is a embodiment of our creator, and how that's reflected on the physical world stage is that the heart, your heart, the giver of life that sustains your life on a daily basis in each and every moment, the heart, the pump, is your gateway to who and what you are as a conscious being. And that we, on this evolutionary path, those of us who are transcending from the mind into the heart, are able to explore and experience more of who we are in physical form. That's the opportunity. And you get to do that through the heart construct. Yeah, stuff's way out there, isn't it? Ha 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 ha. So hang on for the ride. Monitor your thoughts, your emotions, and your perceptions. That which allows you to steer yourself into self-mastery, into having a deeper, grander experience here on this physical world plane. Your thoughts, emotions, and perceptions. Monitor them as we move forward. Master your thoughts. Become the master of your emotions, and your perceptions will change. You are a creator. You have a massive creative potential to transform your life, regardless of what's going on your external reflective. And to live your life from a place of self-mastery, experiencing more of who and what you are in physical form. That's the opportunity. You are an eternal being. You are a master at whatever it is you've been gifted. You are to share your gifts and talents in this physical realm to support the evolution of the species. It's time to, as they say, carpe diem. Seize the day. You are the one you have been waiting for. No one else is going to shift or change this external reality for you. You have the capacity to do that. You are a creator God. You are a creator being. Own your creative potential. Honor that ability within you. And go out there and kick some ass. Because that's the opportunity before you. I thank you so much for tuning in. Again, it's just a dream. Stop taking this reality so seriously. The power control force are doing their job. It's a glorious time to be alive. It's a glorious time to be here. Engage the game. Learn how to play it. Learn what the rules of the game are. And we'll be talking more about that as we go along. But stop taking it so seriously. And stop getting so immersed in your own personal dramas. Because they're toxic, tiring, and debilitating. Take care.